button? Dude,
I did, and we're live. Thank you for joining us, and welcome to episode 194 for the 11th of January. You know, it says 2023 because I am still writing the old year on there. So I just noticed at the top of our little broadcast stream here that I listed as 2023. I'm feeling nostalgic, apparently. So it is for 2024. And we got an interesting show for you tonight. I'm excited. Are you guys excited?
So excited.
Very.
Kevin looks like he's about to explode. This is going to be good. He's got a really good one. Kevin and TJ both have reviews, and I got to be honest with you. I don't want to cause a competition or have you guys vying, at each other, but I don't want to set you against each other, right? But I will say that we've got some rather good photography in both of these, product photography in both of these. And I don't know, maybe we leave it to the audience to decide who takes home the best photography in a Gear Report review for this week. Which reminds me, something that TJ and I were talking about yesterday maybe was the idea that in typical Gear Report fashion, we have done in the past Gear of the Year awards at the end of the year. And I think last year we actually did what we were talking about doing this year. What I was talking about doing, I think TJ was like, I don't know, man, I'll do whatever you want, but that sounds like a bad idea.
No, not whatever you want.
And I was like, yeah, sounds like a bad idea. Sold. So what we're going to do is I think next week we're going to do the Gear of the Year awards live. And I have started, and what I mean by live is not just we're going to like open the envelope and read the card. We're not even going to make those.
Nominate.
We're going to have the discussion where, yes, we'll nominate, discuss. We will come to a consensus. We may even consider feedback from people in the audience, or we may not. But we're going to come up with Gear of the Year award recipients. And so I'll go ahead and put it out there for anyone who wants to toss out some suggestions. You can email them. You can put them in the comments. And we will consider potentially anything that folks want to talk about. But generally, whenever we've done Gear of the Year awards several years, not every year, but most years. And the big rule, it has to be something we put our hands on. Typically, it's going to be something that we did a review on at Gear Report. I mean, it's kind of hard to assess and give out awards for something that we didn't really get our hands on. So I think that's how it's going to be. And we're going to dive into that next week. And I'm talking to, let me pull this over on the other screen. And we'll just, oops, that was a zoom. There we go. Back up at the top so I can put this on the screen. Nope, that's the wrong one. Hold on. That's the one I wanted. So I'll pull this one over. It started a little bit of discussion with these folks. There we go. We're on the screen. And the motion stopped. But you can see what looks like an AR pattern firearm that has a little button that pops out and a crank that pops out of the handle. Do you guys know what happens with that?
I know what happens when I crank stuff.
Yeah.
No,
yeah.
I don't.
So
I would imagine that crank puts tension on the upper, because that pin goes all the way through the lower, right?
Yeah.
And so it probably puts tension on the upper to stop it from wiggling.
Have you ever seen a malfunctioning AR where that screw you're talking about that holds the pistol grip in place gets bumped up against like it? I don't remember. It's been years since I looked into this, but like it's up against the back of the disconnector or something. It interferes with the way that the trigger typically functions. Yeah. Right. So as I understand this, and it's a very high level look at it, as I understand it, as you crank it every so far, I want to say it was like 80 degrees or something, or maybe it was 120 degrees. I don't know. Every certain portion of a revolution, it releases the trigger. and then it resets, obviously, because it's semi-auto. So it kind of becomes, I don't want to say a Gatling gun.
A crank action weapon.
Yeah, it's not a Gatling,
Crank
but
action.
but what it means is that the way the trigger is actuated is by passing through a certain number of degrees in the arc
Right.
that crank turns in, and it looks really interesting. They have that, and they have a belt fed, which I think is
I do like belt fed.
probably just the belt feeding this system.
Like the belt
So
fed.
I've reached out to them, said, "Hey, y'all going to be at SHOT Show?" And they said, "Well, no." So we come on the show. We'll talk about your stuff, and we're working that out. And they may end up sending someone to SHOT after all. We don't. I don't know. I'm waiting on to find that out. But so there is an off chance that we will have someone from that company, from Freedom Ordnance, next week to talk about their crank grip.
People are rolling in. Look at that.
It just sounds dirty. The crank grip. They don't call it that.
Dude, they should call it that.
Yeah.
They should call it that. That would be hilarious.
All right. So Flying Rich with the 3 Yo's, we appreciate it. And Rich, you'll appreciate that I asked the guys in the green room if they could hear the printer run in the background, because I am at this point
printing.
At this point, I'm 24 hours into a 28-hour print right now. So the 3D printer is running and has been for a full day. That's I think the longest print I did before was about 12 hours. So this one is going to consume almost an entire 1 kilogram spool of printer filament. Yeah, the gun snob is shortchanging us with 1 yo instead of the customary 3. Oh, okay. He says, waiting to give the other yos. I want to make sure you earn those other 2. And I know people who would be offended by that. And there were times in my life I would have been offended as well. But I mean, I've watched this show before. I think that's fair.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't blame him at all.
Rich mentions there's a silent mode. I think there's a silent mode on this, but I have never tried it, and I didn't want to try it.
24 hours in.
I didn't want to turn it on and then have something go wrong because I've never used it before.
Right.
Oh yeah, 24-hour print would be 4 hours on the bamboo. Maybe, I don't know. This is it's moving pretty good. It's not as fast as it could be, maybe. Thumbed. That's a good reminder that a thumbs up helps push Al Gore's rhythms, or whatever it is that we talk about, that helps the show to get more views so that everyone can enjoy learning about cool things like the Go Safe mobile mag. Not the other Go Safe. You had the other one, which was just the mobile safe or something like that, right?
Yeah, it was the functional mag that you could lock. This one is just the this is the mobile mag. The other one was the safe.
Right. The other's the safe. This one is the functional mag. This one's actually
a functional mag. It holds 10 rounds.
Yeah.
And it has the same locking mechanism. It has its own key. It fit in my Glock. It fit in the little AR 9 that takes Glock mags. It fit in there.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
So it the Glock, it locks in. That's the one. That's the one that I beat to death with a hammer.
No way.
It doesn't look like that anymore.
That's a bold move. Beating it with a hammer.
It works great. As soon as you unlock it, boom, you can. The mag worked fine. Everything did well. But I was like, well, I got tools. Let's see what we can do with it. So I beat the crap out of it with a framing hammer, and it took a while for me to hit with the hammer, and it finally unlocked. But I mean, by then the mag's ruined. All the rounds came out the bottom. I was like, huh, okay. So I mean, you could get it out of there, but you're not going to have a functional mag.
I heard a rumor.
So TJ, tell us about this product. If for those who have never ever seen this before, what does this mag do?
It locks your gun up. You can put 10 rounds in there, put it in your Glock, lock it. It has its own individual little key for every mag. Has its unique to user key. And I see the little tab right there. See that?
Yep.
Yep. Locks it up. Can't
That
eject the
stops the
mag.
mag from being
You can't
removed from
eject
the
it.
weapon.
You can put a round in the chamber and it won't let you pull the trigger.
Wow.
Yeah.
So then
That's
as
cool.
soon as you unlock it, you can go back to functional mag, but 10 rounds. So it knocks it down to 10 rounds. That way they meet everybody, some communist states requirements and stuff like that.
I have mixed feelings about placating the communists.
Right. We're gonna impugn everyone's rights in the entire country because 5 states have the 10-round capacity.
Right. Yeah. But like I said, it worked well. I sent it the range, trying to pull the trigger, wouldn't do it. Unlocked it, pow, 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 unloaded the 10, good to go. Locked it back up. Couldn't
What
pull
about
the trigger.
the key? Do you have a picture of the key on there?
Yeah.
I'm sure I do. Scroll down there, Jeff. There it is. Right there.
There it is.
So I can actually here. I'm gonna
Jeff has one, I think, don't you?
Let me try something here. So this is the other model. This is the safe model.
The safe model
that doesn't have that you can't put ammo in this one. This is not a functional magazine.
Okay. In hindsight, I should have destroyed that one instead of the functional mag one.
Yeah,
but
but so the key. And so everything else about it is the same, like the way the key fits in and the way the little arm comes out to block the trigger is the same. But the key, all right, see if I can get that to show. It actually lines up here.
That's not your standard off-the-shelf key.
No. And when it turns, it folds this little guy out up here at the top. And that's what blocks, so the trigger won't work.
It's a neat concept.
You lock it and it can't be removed. Let's see if I get it in front of me. You can see the little tab sticking out there. It can't be pulled out to remove it, and the trigger won't work. So you have to actually turn that or beat the ever-living snot out of it and ruin it. And so that's what I was going to say. I was looking, are there pictures in here? I heard a rumor, and I hesitate to even call you out on this because I don't want to embarrass anyone here. I heard a rumor that there was some collateral damage.
There was.
Oh my goodness.
One of the swings, I hit it so hard it bounced up, and I was in the middle of another swing and hit it like dead on the top of the thing, and it might have messed up my slide and cracked my grip.
Oh my goodness.
It is a Glock. It is a crappy Glock. So I mean, it is my crappy Glock.
So with that information in hand, I'm going to note to Flying Rich, yes, we will be at SHOT. It'll be nice.
Jeff will be there.
It'll be nice to finally see you at SHOT, Rich. I mean, all these years we've been saying we're going to get together at SHOT. It'll be nice to finally make your acquaintance in person. So that'll be excellent. I'm waiting for that. And the reason I wanted to bring that up was not to derail TJ talking about the go safe or the busted lower
you can do it.
Glock, but to say we're going to be at SHOT, and there are a bunch of different companies that make lowers for Glocks, and this could be a great opportunity to propose some new content. Like, hey, you've got a lower with whatever features. I need a lower to finish this project up. Let's do some content,
or put my gun back together. It's I was swinging. You know me. I was swinging hard.
Swinging hard and often. I mean, that's the only way to do it.
Killian was filming me, and he was like, he looked at me after that, and he goes, "Did you mess up your gun?" I was like, "Probably." And I kept hitting, and finally it fell apart. All the rounds shot out, and I was like, and then I jiggled it, but I was like, boom, mag came out, and I was like, all right, I got it. After like freaking 20 swings on that thing, just beating the crap out of it, and then I looked, and I was like, all right, crack that. Scratched the hell out of the slide. I was like,
I'd be a little worried that the little arm that swings out to block the trigger may have gotten banged around and hit something in the connector.
Well, I haven't fired it since, so it might have messed up the whole gun. Who knows?
Right. So, but again, that's what I'm saying is it gives you an opportunity to do a new project and put some new content out and help people understand.
I like how you
have an unfortunate accident. then and you're
if you
part of
happen
your
to
firearms
steal a
damage.
Glock with the Go Safe mobile mag in it and you beat the hell out of it getting it out of there,
Wouldn't
you
even
can
go in that
replace your.
direction. Important question: was it an East Wing or an inferior?
Yeah, it was an East Wing. It was an S Wing. Come on now.
S Wing. I don't
20
know.
ouncer, baby.
20 ounces.
So it was frame and hammer.
Oh, hammer. Oh, good.
Yeah, waffle
I thought
head.
we were talking
Snob.
beer bongs or
Just in case you were wondering, Snob, it was the waffle head. I wasn't playing.
Nice,
All right.
nice.
Fun stuff. So any parting words here? You gave it a 3.5 out of 5.
Yeah.
3.5.
Like I said, it did what it was supposed to do, and it it has its functions and it has its uses, and like I said,
So
if you have tools, you can get into anything. I mean, I can bust into my safe if I wanted to.
But you risk, like, maybe you can bust up this if you try hard enough. Like if someone stole a Glock that had this in it, they could probably get in it eventually. But the typical cable lock that comes in most gun kits is going to be even easier for them to get into.
Oh yeah.
And I think this has a greater chance they're going to damage something.
This one lets you can keep 10 rounds in it, lock it up.
Yeah.
And then if you need to get to it, boom, you can, key it up and it's good to go.
Yeah. 3.5 is a bit above average among similar products. Yep. Yeah. Okay. And again, I'll go back to that same story I've told a couple times whenever we talk about the Go Safe stuff, is that when we first met them, what was it, 4 years ago, maybe?
Yeah.
That we went to a dinner with their investors. And I felt bad when we left because they had dropped some money on that dinner for a bunch of media people.
And we were
I'd say a bunch, like 15 maybe. And I felt like they put a lot of hopes in us getting the word out for the people who were there. And I just wasn't comfortable saying too much about it because I thought, they have got some lofty goals they're going after. I don't know if they're actually going to be able to pull this off. And then we saw the final product. I was like, look at that. They did. They pulled it off.
When we saw that first product, it was totally, it was different. It was different. They tweaked it. And like I said, I think it works well.
Yeah.
I think the biggest strength of that product is that there's no batteries.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
That's the biggest strength. Because if there was a battery in there, I'd kind of be out.
Oh, dude.
Even though I think RFID would be sexy, I think fingerprint would be sexy, but as soon as you introduce one battery to the equation,
to have something, a big black thing that shape with no battery, I mean, they're going old school. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
That was just to see if my wife was actually watching the program tonight.
She's not.
I'll be scolded for making that little.
Crystal's not watching either, so don't feel bad.
Yeah. So let's see. While we have this up on the screen, I'd like to draw your attention to the other ratings. We know the 4.5 is likely the best product in its class and price point. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So why would I bring that up, you ask?
I wonder.
Because we have yet another published, and I need to make a new banner. We have the sponsor by Maxim Defense down there because we appreciate them, and I really need to update it because I deleted our Patreon. I got upset the way they were mistreating a bunch of firearms content creators, and we weren't bringing much money in through there anyway, so I got rid of that. So I need to update that. Maybe while Kevin is telling us about the new Tandem Cross MK4 tactical pistol package, I'm going to go and I'm going to update this little scrolling banner at the bottom. And instead of special thanks to our patrons, it's going to be special thanks to Sylvan Arms for sponsoring the reviews section. All right, let me get the banners back up here. So we're in recent reviews. Reviews will be published soon. That's set. Oh, sorry. Here, I'll switch with you, Kev.
There you go.
So the those sections are sponsored by our friends at Sylvan Arms. So I'm going to update the banner while Kevin walks us through all the details on the new Tandem Cross M.
Let's hear about it.
Oh yes,
tactical pistol.
Oh yes,
that's sexy looking.
Go down a little bit more.
Oh, it sure is.
I think I had a little bit of a formatting thing.
Oh no.
Yep, hit refresh on this page, and then it'll update.
Dude. Will it?
Yep, it will. Has to. Okay. So
It did not.
It did not. It's worse.
What?
Dude, you made it worse. What, dude? What do you?
Worse.
I win this
All right.
round, Jeff.
Well,
Just saying.
Yeah.
Well, some of
We'll
the
get
see the
to it.
verbiage.
Come on,
You see
here.
how
Let me
you see how the
zoom out a little
writing's
bit
going.
too.
There
No,
we go. Now it's at a
It's the
normal
zoom
zoom
level.
level.
See,
It's
I'm
the
zooming
zoom.
in to make it easier for
Okay.
people to see.
Jeff
That's
was
what it
he was
was.
strategically
format is.
sabotaging you for me.
Yeah.
Thanks, Jeff. I
It was
appreciate
the
it.
Well, I want
zoom
people to be able to
level.
see it. Look at these pictures, man. I
These
want people to
pictures
be
are
able to see this.
Gorgeous.
Yeah.
All right. So this project, this is incredible. This is something that Tandem Cross, GSL, Swamp Fox, and Inforce Optics have all got together on this massive project. The Tandemized Tactical Pistol, right? The TTP. It's using the Cthulhu lower, right? See that Tandemized Cthulhu lower, which is a roughly translated word that means Kraken. And they weren't allowed to use the word Kraken.
Can't use Kraken?
Nope. It's already trademarked, copyrighted.
Probably
I
trademarked
don't know.
somewhere else. Yep.
Somewhere else. There's
Kraken?
another Kraken. Yeah, you can't use that word.
Kraken. Not like CRACK hyphen or thing. IN.
Just N.
With a K.
KRAKEN.
They can just spell.
Okay. I'm with you. I'm slow, but I'm catching up.
Yep. Let's go back up to the top photo because it's the most beautiful.
It is
Look at
that is stunning photography.
And this does give you a totality view where you can see everything that comes with this package. Okay.
Look at that.
Including a real sexy Tandem Cross case with muzzle direction indicators. Do you see those red arrows? That's so you know which way the weapon is facing inside the bag.
If you put it in the bag the right way.
And I was like, no way. That's brilliant. Well, because once you know that, then you're going to face it the right way, right? You're just going to.
In theory, yeah.
In theory. That's the intent, is when you're carrying it around at the range, you know which way the weapon's facing. So you can lay it on the table, open it up, and have it facing out.
I've been to many ranges before. That's not going to happen.
All right. So then, all right, let's starting at the back. They have this Halo charging handle. Right, it's very large. You can get any of your fingers in there and rack that slide really easily, which was historically a major problem with the Mark IV because there's nowhere to grab a hold of. Right. They upgraded the grip also. They put that Hive grip on there from Tandem Cross.
Hive grip is amazing.
It's so nice.
That tacky rubber, but it's not squishy.
Yes, it's perfect.
Nice. I like
and
that.
It's contoured and it's amazing, right?
Yeah.
The trigger that's on there.
Those finger grooves for you, Jeff.
Yeah. So the trigger that's on here is skeletonized, right? It's a flat trigger, skeletonized, and the front of it has like a serration to it. It's beautiful. The weapon light, the Inforce In Wild weapon light, you can action from either side, right? Just hitting that front, that little front. You can hit it with either
like that little bit there.
Yep, that little guy right there. It clicks on and off really easily.
Cool.
It's awesome. And then on the front, I got the GSL Woodland 22 suppressor. And as part of this promotion, it's not actually including the suppressor, but we did offer a really kick-ass promo offering $150 off the price of the Woodland 22 when you buy this weapon assembly.
That almost makes the text stamp go away.
Exactly.
Like functionally.
Exactly. And this can, I mean, it's 2.7 ounces. So it weighs nothing, right? The magazine weighs almost as much as the suppressor that's on there. And then on the top, we got the Swamp Fox Justice 3MOA dot. And it's beautiful. It's clear. Comes with a little optic cover. And that's great, right? It's the Mark IV tactical chassis from Ruger. But pretty much every component of this thing has been tricked out and updated by Tandem Cross.
So I got to be honest. I did a project with Tandem Cross several years ago, right after the SW22 came out from Smith & Wesson, and we tandemized that. And holy smokes. I mean, it's got the Hive grip. It's got their special trigger. It's got the halo on the back. I think, what do I have on that? Is it thinking it's like a Volquartsen barrel.
Nice.
I can't
like
remember.
A carbon fiber.
It's no, I think this one. I think it's a stainless. But regardless, the point being, I haven't fired this specific pistol that this review is about, right?
Sure.
And it looks like a phenomenal package. I just wanted to say that.
Well, I'll say this about it, right? You see, I have right here the SW22,
right,
the Victory 22. I have that weapon already. I've got a hive grip on it. I prefer this weapon just because of the weight. Okay. The magazines are almost identical. The action, the slide, the
You
disassembly is
like the
almost
tactical
identical. But I would take this tactical over the Smith and Wesson
SW22?
Victory,
Yeah.
SW22, because of the weight of it. The barrel is so much heavier, right?
Yeah.
The so as you scroll down a little bit, let's see if we can see the other side on that other photo.
Wait a second. Even the little screws have little like hex symbol things on them.
So does the mag release. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
If you it's a gorgeous weapon. They spent a lot of time getting this thing functional, doing awesome. Right there you can see some of the specs on it.
Yeah.
The list price, the MSRP price. Right, they're giving you like $500 off this package. Right there, you see the MSRP is $17.32. List price is $13.24. Right, it's awesome. Skeletonized. As you go down a bit further, pistol bag, shooting results.
Oh, you even got a video down there.
And I have a video of it that shows it firing.
Nice.
Which was awesome.
Nice.
And then I tried different ammo through it. Right. I mentioned the optic on there as well.
Cool.
So the magazine release, right, has a medium profile hex mag release, and it's large enough that you can get into it pretty easily. Enforce weapon light, and then go ahead and scroll down a bit further. Only cons, okay? You there's got to be a con to every product, and
every time.
Every product has a negative side. The only
first thing I look for.
This package they put a lot of thought into. Okay, there's the bag. Right here's the tandem cross. You can see it with the woodland. What they missed on here is that this package includes 2 magazines. Okay, which is awesome, right? If it had more, I'd be happier. Of course, we always need more magazines.
We all would be, yes.
But one thing that would have really been cool, right? Tandem Cross does offer some heavier mag bases, mag plates. And so if they were to put a slightly heavier base plate on there, when you hit that mag release, the mag would drop, right?
Yeah.
And that would be advantageous. That's the only thing. That is the only con to the whole product, was that those magazines would have been really cool with a heavier base plate. That's what I would have done.
Yeah.
But overall, I mean, I gave it 4.5. Is a beautiful product, compared to, other weapon collaborations like the SW22. I think that this one was superior.
Well, that's good to know. I've been thrilled with the SW22, and I brought it up to just simply to reinforce that my hands-on experience with a tandemized product was phenomenal. Like I've used this SW22 like when I go out with teaching shooting sports to scouts. I have literally like taken a freshly painted gong and shot a smiley face on it, like one-handed, with just it's just a one power a red dot, like, and it's not even like a precise dot. It's just so easy to shoot, so good. So when Tandem Cross gets a hold of these and puts these packages together, the stuff just works together beautifully. In my experience with everyone I've tried, it sounds like you have similar. With a 4.5, sounds like you've had similar thoughts about this one.
Yep. Try and set your zoom to 100% and just see if that is like jacked, if it's crazy. Now you're at 125.
There we go. There's 100.
There you go. Yep. Now scroll down. Perfect. Yeah, that looks way better. So
for zoom level, just for future editing, we try to put the images above or below, but not right or left of text, because then when the zoom level changes, you don't know where the text is going to go.
That makes
So,
sense.
and with so many different devices with different screen sizes and shapes, it's easier to just make sure they're all in line.
Good tip.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I mean, there's zoom levels. I can change stuff. What?
Well, I just did. Didn't you see here like that?
If you hold down Control and then scroll up on your mouse wheel, it'll zoom in and out on any page.
I'm not going to mess with that. I have a hard enough time doing what
Have you accessed my office camera? It's like you just told him exactly what I was doing. That's crazy. I think Kevin's been spying on me. Okay, so great pictures, great detail in that. We may have to talk about that again next week when we do the Gear of the Year stuff, because that looks pretty sexy. I like that.
Oh my gosh, it's a phenomenal weapon.
Yeah. Okay, so let's see. Oh, that's neat. I just got a message back. How much do I want to talk about this? We'll move on just for a second before we talk about that. You know what? I think it is time. I am going to talk about that because it's time for Guitar Marketing. It's time. Yeah. Yeah. I try to sneak up on people with that sometimes.
I know.
We talked before about the 3D printed one back there and this one, and I have been printing. I've got the printer. I told you it's been running for 24 hours, and it's got a few more hours left. That is making the main section where the pickups and where the neck bolts in, like the core section of a new guitar, and it's a V. They call it a flying V, and it's all black, and it's got like flames molded into the top in the 3D printed filament. And I'm actually printing that for a different YouTuber. That when YouTube was being douchey and deleting the Gear-Report Guitars channel, the Michael over at Fulton Street Beats was very supportive, and so to kind of return the favor a little bit, I said. So, but since he was so supportive, I said, "Hey, I've been doing these 3D printed guitars. I'm printing. I've got another one I want to print. You know, would you be interested in a collaboration where I'll print the body and send it to you, and then all the other stuff like the neck, the pickups, the knobs, the switches, all that stuff. You know, it's regular guitar parts." And he said, "Oh, that'd be amazing." So I've got this almost done. I'm hoping to get it out within the next week to him, so that he can get it and I can coach him a little bit before we get to shot. Because once we get to shot, I'm not talking to him for a week. And Mike will be, I think he'll be okay with that, because he had a gun channel before he had the guitar channel, and it got shut down. So he just gave up and has been doing guitars and drums and stuff. But anyhow, so that is the big update from the Guitarmageddon. That, and for the one that I printed here, the black and white Telecaster, it has a hole right here for a 12 millimeter carbon fiber rod. And I ordered some yesterday. It should be here shortly, to stiffen up the chassis, stiffen up the body in that, so it doesn't flex under the tension of the strings. And then that one should be done. The bamboo caster, the orange and gray and black, I think it's finished. It's been done for a little over a week, and it's holding together, doing great. So the black and white one need a little more reinforcement, but aside from that, I think that project's about done. Which means it's time to get all the videos and write-ups done. If I can get to that before we get to SHOT Show. So let's see what time is it. 9:35. I know, it's exciting.
SHOT Show.
It has been super stressful because we've had some changes on the Gear-Report
team. You too.
Oh my goodness, did it sneak up on me? Yeah. Let's see. And I forgot, I posted the first link I posted out there for the Tandem Cross pistol article. Please go check that out and share it around to your friends. Post it on your personal site and put it up on a billboard in your hometown if you like, whatever. And same for, here's the link for the Go Safe Mobile Mag review. Whatever you like. I mean, I don't want to tell people what to do, right?
Be bossy.
I'm just saying it'd be nice. I mean, you want to be nice or not, that's up to you, right? So let's talk about SHOT. What do we want to reveal about SHOT? I'll tell you one thing we'll reveal. We actually have, boy, I'm going to jinx it saying this, aren't I? We're not staying, as far as I know, we're not staying in the hood this time. This will be the first time
I am
ever
so upset
that the Gear Report team has had someplace to stay. Say, I'm jinxing it. I know it. But potentially, in theory, this will be the first time we're in a good neighborhood, in a gated community, close to stores, nice place, plenty of room, beautiful kitchen, laundry, everything. We're going to live like real people this time.
So upset, dude.
More than 2 weeks in advance.
Ruined
I
my part. Just so everybody knows, part of my SHOT Show experience is cheating death every time we go. That was always part of it.
I've made arrangements for them. Okay. I think,
but
and it's
usually we stay in some janky neighborhoods, and it's sketch where we stay, which is fun. It's part of the adventure. And now nothing. Now I get nothing.
It's hood adjacent.
Yeah, that's what we said. Hood.
So right. Say at the snob. Yeah. So
as soon as I get out of that gate, it's game on.
Well, here's the deal. It's Vegas. Everything's hood adjacent.
Pretty much.
There is nothing in Vegas that's not hood adjacent.
As soon as we step out of the gate, poo. Okay, awesome. Yep. Let's go.
Yeah. So I am quasi excited about that, and I'm
excited that we got it.
I'm quasi excited.
I figured we were going to get a place as we get off the plane. Jeff be at the airport like this, like scrolling, like, all right, I got us a place.
That's when you get the best deals.
I know, dude. Where's it at? Hojo.
Before you show up,
the Howard Johnsons.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. If you, is it really an adventure if you know when you get off the plane? Like, seriously, if you can't walk up to the desk and they say, "Do you have a reservation?" It's like, why? Dude, you got rooms, right?
We're all bougie now. See,
no, just give me a room. What do you mean you don't have a reservation? Like, what, you need those? It's Vegas. Come on. Yeah. No, we got it. Like, more than 2 weeks in advance. We booked it. It looks nice. It's a little more spendy than I'm used to, but on a per person basis, it's really not. Like, it's right bad. In the neighborhood of what we always pay, and it's like a real place. Yeah. So,
but we feasibly might even have space for one more.
Exactly.
You know, we might have a bed for one more person.
Well, a couch technically, but
a couch. I mean,
or couch maybe.
It's 3 blocks from Walmart, and there's lots of room. Like, there is literally a closet big enough you could put a bed in easily. I'm not saying, like, if someone wanted their own,
that's where AJ's going to be. AJ gets the closet
mattress and put someone in there, and give them a good deal. So. If you'll know any people that are trustworthy and easily influenced, because that's really a requirement to be a part of this team, right?
Yeah.
We're going to bring any rookies in. They've got to
be ready for some bad decisions.
Pretty much. Yeah.
I must be strong. That's all I'm going to say.
So speaking of bad decisions, that's where TJ said, cheating death is part of his SHOT Show routine. And, and I'm adopting that same philosophy, I think, this year. Yesterday, we made the decision to sign up one of my demon spawn as part of the crew for Gear Report. And I felt okay about it. And my wife said I was crazy. But, I think that there's potential to have some valuable lessons learned and growth opportunities and whatnot. But then I go and check the airfare that I booked in September. I got a great deal on, but now to rebook it, because there's not another seat on that flight, and we kind of need to be on the same flight. Because my demon spawn don't fly much, and it's a fairly new experience and one that not everyone's really comfortable with yet. So we need to be on the same flight, and that means rebooking, and that means it's going to be expensive. Is it going to be expensive by normal people standards? Not really. I mean, it's what flights cost, right? But we're talking about Gear Report standards. And
my flight's $217 round trip.
Yeah, and Yeah, so you could fly 3 times for what each person is going to cost.
And
I got 2
I get a
people.
3-hour layover on the way there in
You are
San
going to miss
Antonio.
your connecting flight. You will be slumped over the bar stool.
That airport they have one bar with like 30 beers on tap. So.
Wow.
So if I don't show up, you know what happened. I'm in San Antonio. And I'll get there eventually.
San Antonio. That's funny. I was looking at pictures. I found a box of pictures that were from my parents' house. They sent some pictures home recently. And in there, we found, and I posted one on my personal Facebook, pictures. I didn't think there were any pictures that have existed of me in the college football outfit out on the field. You know,
I saw
think
that. I was like, look at Jeff and all his dark mane of hair.
I got to be honest, man. I look pretty good in that stuff.
Yeah.
God, I'm glad I didn't play football very long, but it was a neat little experiment when I did it. Also in that box were pictures from when my parents came down at the end of boot camp, basic training. It was at Lackland Air Force Base in San Antonio. So you mentioned San Antonio. I was just looking at pictures of San Antonio, and ironically, telling the youngin that is looking to go to SHOT with me. I was showing this picture saying, you know what, we ought to take a trip down there and see what that place looks like. Because one of the college swimming teammates, I think, was I think one of her teammates is from San Antonio. So it's like, well, that's
I'm
really
not going to. I'm just so you know, I'm not leaving the airport. So,
oh no, I'm not saying you should, but if something happens and you get stuck there, they got the Riverwalk thing. And I was looking at pictures from the early 90s, so it's been a couple years, but really, really neat looking place. And what I do remember from that trip was that we went to a basketball game, like I don't remember what team it was. What San Antonio would be what? Do they have a NBA team?
Spurs.
I don't follow basketball. Spurs? Then maybe that's what it was. I don't know what it was back in the early 90s, but I do remember they had something they called the Silver Dancers that were like cheerleaders, but they wore like shiny silver spandex. And I remember at that time in my life being impressed with the quality of choreography that they put on. So, yeah. I was there with my parents, right? So, but anyhow, neat trip. So, SHOT Show, I should be getting there. Looks like Sunday. Then we go to the range on Monday. Kevin, are you going to the range Monday?
I don't think so. No, okay. I don't have tickets right now to go.
Right. Yeah. And then Tuesday through Friday we'll be on the show floor at SHOT.
Yep.
In the evenings we'll be.
Are we gonna go? Are we doing that? Didn't they have the supplier showcase on Monday after SHOT?
Yep. Yeah.
We could do that.
It's Monday and Tuesday.
Yeah, we did that last year.
That would really make a lot of sense to go spend the morning out there and
come back and
then come back.
It wasn't bad because it wasn't that busy last year.
So what I'm thinking about is I'm really leaning towards picking up a rental car. AJ. So the dream team for Gear Report proper is Jeff and TJ, obviously. AJ, who's been to SHOT twice with Gear Report, this time going without his wife Jessica, which we love and respect AJ, but it's a little upsetting that Jessica's not coming this time. And
she rocked it on the social media end of it.
Oh yeah.
Non-stop.
So we may have instead. Jessica was the director of social media that year for Gear Report, and it could be that Bella fills in the social media role for us this year. I haven't decided how to best put her to use, but young people, they're always on social media. Like she's got to be more adept at that than I am. Yeah. So let's see.
I would assume so.
Ask, did you get your other attendees' flight situation figured out yet? I think I've narrowed down the best option, and I spent an hour on the phone with Southwest Airlines trying to sort through all the different options so that we could still go to Battlefield Vegas on Saturday and just the way all the flights and everything work out, it was going to cost like an extra $700 to be able to be around all day Saturday. And I don't think I can swing $700 to spend the day with the Humvee and tank guys at Battlefield. But if I'd never done it before, probably. But since we've spent a day with them each of the last 2 or 3 or 4 years, whatever, I think we're gonna have to pass up on that this time, and then fly out Saturday morning to come back. So to be a Sunday through Saturday, I think for me is what it's looking like right now. And based on that, we rework the pricing. And here's a little tip for folks. If you use reward points, if you've got miles banked and you cash them in for tickets and then you have to change anything, you end up having to buy points. Like literally, I had this woman at Southwest. She modeled it both ways. It was going to cost me more money. They were going to use up every point that I had. I needed to buy more points, and it was going to cost like $1,600. But if I just paid cash, canceled that, got all my points back, and then just paid cash for the 2 tickets, we're at 2 round trip tickets, $1,281. So literally cheaper to just pay cash. Then they were going to keep every point I had, plus I'd pay $1,600. Like it way cheaper. If you can't pay for your flight completely with points that you already have, like buying points, and that was with a 40 or 45% discount on points. So it's just a bad deal if you have to do that. So right now we're taking the evening to do some soul searching and decide. But I'm leaning towards saying, you know what? I sold some of my portable castles recently, so I've got a little bit of extra cash in the budget that I was not expecting to have right now. So with that in mind, I think I'm just going to pull the trigger. And if anyone wants them, I got a couple of the military surplus tents left. And they've all been set up and dried out and fixed.
Please help fund my trip to Vegas.
Yeah. Well, and I've actually been getting a lot of action on these. I sold one a couple weeks ago. I got someone that's trying to pick one up this week or this weekend, maybe 2. And the guy who bought one a couple weeks ago, tornadoes and stuff came through a couple days ago, and like it's still storming. And I'm getting texts from the guy saying, Do you have parts? He set it up, but he hadn't tied it down right yet. And he hadn't put the little rebar stakes in the bottom like I told him to. And the wind picked it up and flipped it and tumbled it across his yard. And he needs it because he paints cars and he needed a big paint booth. And these big tents are phenomenal paint booths. So he's like, if you got another one, I may just have to come buy another one. I'm like, all right. Your money's still good here. That's fine. Bring it. I'll sell you another one. But we are getting down to slim pickings. We only got a couple left. So if you're interested in one of those portable castles, let me know before they're gone. All right. What do we got here in comments? I haven't been paying attention. How much has Gear-Report had to drink tonight? I have had a couple sips of coffee and a little bit of my lemon water here with some honey in it. That's it.
Just one drink. That's all I've had.
One drink. But hey, you upgraded to plastic, so we don't hear the ice rattling around when you drink out of it. That's a good thing. Oh yeah. Kevin has got a bottle of something. It says McKenna. All right. That looks bougie to me.
It is bougie.
All right. So that was that. What do we have here? Just way nice for me. I'm making my kid fly on his own on an ultra low cost carrier. I really
Spirit.
If it weren't for extenuating circumstances, I would do that. But yeah. His first time flying shouldn't be easy. He can learn on his own. Yeah. I don't necessarily, I don't disagree with that.
Yeah.
But I've got extenuating circumstances here that make me
Ooh,
reluctant
Allegiant.
to take that approach. Boy, he wasn't kidding. He said, I thought it was low cost. He did say ultra low cost. Okay.
Ultra low cost.
Yeah. That's good.
Jeff would probably put his child inside of a dog carrier on the bottom of the plane if they let him.
Is that an option?
Dude, you stole my line. Come on. I was even setting it up with
I was just thinking, I was like, dude,
like
that could be totally viable.
I mean,
I'm sure, dog costume on Vine or something and be like, all right, here you go.
I've got
be quiet for 5 hours.
I've got like a American Eagle costume. I wonder if that's close enough. That could work. Or ghillie suit, maybe.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. $148 round trip. Yeah. So I'm literally looking at what would it be? 1281 and some 1282.
7 times that.
It's a bit more. Yeah. So, but I'm hoping that this $640.96 is, if we're pinching pennies, if we're counting the pennies. Yeah, I hear you. He says
Gun Snob needs to make sure he gets his $148 worth.
Well, plus. So yeah, and this is exactly what I ran into. Adding her to my flight. Well, and we couldn't because there weren't any seats left. So we had to move to a different flight, which took mine from a free ticket using my points up to the same $640. So this is an expensive flight. Plus when we did it yesterday, Snob and I both signed our kids up to be part of our crew separately. We didn't talk about this beforehand. It was not a coordinated effort, but we both did it yesterday because today the price went up from 150 to 250. Like we missed for media, you don't pay for your ticket to SHOT Show unless you book it after December 15th. December 15th through January 10th. And that's $150. Then once you go past the 10th, there's a window up until a few days before the show, I think, where you can still get one, but it's $250. So we went ahead and paid that last night so that we'd be in it at $150. And then when I saw the airfare today, I about fell out of my chair. I think I did actually. I was doing the old Sanford, Fred Sanford, coming to see you. It was rough, but all right. So how are we on time?
My round trip flight's 217.
Yeah. And that's around what mine was when I booked it in September. Like I finally booked one ahead of time, like everyone tells me I should do, and then I had to cancel it and do something else anyway. So that's why I don't book stuff early, because every time I do, I end up having to redo it, and it's like I wasted all that time. So
I think my flight out on is at 2:00 on Saturday anyway. So
yeah. And let's see, this one puts us.
So I think we're going to be about on the same schedule. You guys fly out a little earlier than me, but there's bars at the airport. So.
We're going to be later.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, I can do later.
I think it's like a 5:50 arrival.
Oh, okay.
Or something. Around 6:00, something like that. So, which is okay. I mean, I'd really prefer to be earlier, but that'll give us time to get everything sorted out. Oh, I hadn't even thought of that. OB's going out of Greensboro. I didn't even check to see what flights were available out of Greensboro. That's a little closer too. And I don't know if I want to do that to OB though. That'd be mean. Yeah, but hey, maybe
mean OB, sure. Come on.
Yeah.
He always looks like he's pissed off anyways. What the hell?
Yeah. So anyhow, I think we got that sorted out. So SHOT Show is going to be interesting. I think it's about time. We got about a week till we start working on our strategy for what we plan to accomplish at SHOT Show. Before we start working on that, I know Kevin's already got his whole life planned out for the week at SHOT Show.
For the week and the week after.
And yeah. All right. Let me put one thing.
I've got a couple things on the calendar, but nothing crazy yet.
You going up to Pensy after that?
For a Great American Outdoor Show?
Yep.
No, I'm going to be with the Army.
No.
I want to go so bad because Great American is amazing, but I'm going to...
Really?
I got to go play a soldier.
You sold a bunch of stuff there last year, if I remember right.
I did. It was so much fun. Oh, well. What are you going to do?
Well, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to check out suppressorman.com.
Go check it out. Check it out. I've been working
on
it.
Why not, right? Yeah. You want to give the minute and a half, or the 42-second tour of the website?
The 42-second. Yeah. On the site, I've got some information for dealers regarding some of our suppressors. Right, I'm gonna use this site. I've got some dealer feedback and customer feedback on here. There's a funny joke at the very bottom because all of the sites, will often put. See what it says? Can you control zoom on that one?
Let's see.
What's it say?
Powered by a Windows XP machine I'm never turning off.
It was a joke, it's funny. Yeah. It's funny. But there's a couple reviews and, some product information, and the swag shop there on the far right side has some of the components, and it's kind of fun stuff. Yeah. Contact info.
I've got to go make one of these V card things like you've got before SHOT Show.
Yes, you do. Go up that way, go to the right, click on swag shop, and that has like covers. It's got suppressor covers and coolers and my patches. And
look at those cool GSL patches.
Yes. Click on that one on the far right side.
You guys have a new one this year?
Right. Yeah, I'm going to have a few of them. Click on that. Hills Are Alive.
Yeah, I was just reading that one.
Yep. So this patch I designed.
Hills Are Alive with the sounds of nothing.
Yes. And then look on the left side right there. You got, how do you zoom? It's a little crazy. The zoom's a little weird on it, I think.
Yeah.
But she's dual wielding the MP5 and the Mac 9, right? Nice. Spraying bullets.
Nice.
And just some cool stuff, some cool collaboration stuff that I've been doing.
Yeah, cool. All right. Well, go check that out if you hadn't seen that yet.
Suppressorman.com.
All right. We are approaching our hour. Anything you guys want to talk about upcoming stuff before we get together next week and potentially look at the crank AR and talk about our Gear of the Year awards?
We're going to broadcast from SHOT.
Snob's just excited to see me when he gets a shot. I don't blame him.
Yeah. That's what everyone's excited about.
I know.
I'm excited to see Snob. Snob, do you have any new patches this year?
Oh, that's a good question. Yeah.
Because I'm kind of a patch fanatic.
And I'm feeling bad. Like every year I'm like, you know what? I'm making new patches for SHOT. And then honestly, I was going to do it. I actually had some money set aside to do it. And then I realized we're 2 weeks out. I missed it. I missed my window. I can't do it.
What's a good thing you didn't spend the money on patches because you're going to spend it on airfare.
Ain't that
valid point?
And I think I'm going to. I think I'm going to, as a vote of confidence in my young person. Like, you know what? I'm sure this is going to be a good enough experience for all of us. And if not, then, I'm going to go down in flames, and the flames will be fueled by a big stack of money.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I have one of Gun Snob's glow in the dark ones. They're pretty sweet.
Yeah, they are. They are very nice. Okay, so let's see what else we need to know. I think that's all we need to talk about here. Yeah. We probably this week or next week need to figure out when everyone's arriving, how everyone's getting out to the house, and figure all that stuff out. But I don't actually know all those details yet. So we'll figure that out as we get closer. So we'll be back next week to I know I'm warming the finger up. I'm getting ready. We'll be back next week to
too.
go through our Gear of the Year awards. So if you have ideas on that, if Snob says, if it was me taking my teenage daughter, it'd be experience seeing who can yell at each other louder. I'm a little scared about that myself. So we'll see. But anyhow, until next week, we'll see you at the range.